Donald Trump just held what can only be described as an absolutely psychotic press conference with India's Prime Minister Modi. Let me show you what went down. Here's Donald Trump talking about AI, and he talks about how people are going to be building their own electric plants for themselves. Here, play this clip.
And under the framework we are announcing today, the United States and India are also joining forces to ensure that artificial intelligence and other advanced technologies are developed by two of the most advanced nations, intellectually and otherwise technologically. Anywhere in the world, there's nobody very much closer. We have an incredible relationship there, and this is where it seems to be heading. And artificial intelligence, a very complex subject, but it seems to be where people want to be and they want to go. And we're leading right now by a lot, but other people will try to catch us. I don't know if they're going to be able to. We're going to make it available. We're going to make tremendous amounts of electricity available. We're going to let the people that are buying the electricity make their own electric plants, electric generation plants. And we've never done this in our country, but we're going to get it done very quickly. Lee Zeldin and his group are going to get the approvals in very rapid form, and we're calling it a national emergency, and that's exactly what it is. So
then Donald Trump struggles to understand what the reporter is even asking. Watch this.
Raising anti-India voice, calling about separation terrorism activities in India. Do you think that should continue here in the US as well?
You're going to have to go louder.
Mr. President, people in India would be welcoming your decision to extradite Tahabur Rana to...
I can't understand a word he's saying.
May I, sir? May I? May I, sir?
Go ahead, back there.
Yeah, this was not going very well. More bizarre answers by Donald Trump about artificial intelligence, and there's clearly no intelligence going on in his mind. The cognitive glitching over and over again as he just tries to explain what AI even is. Here, watch this clip.
This is where it seems to be heading, and artificial intelligence, a very complex subject, but it seems to be where people want to be and they want to go. And we're leading right now by a lot, but other people will try to catch us. I don't know if they're going to be able to. We're going to make.
Before the press conference with Prime Minister Modi, Donald Trump sat down with the Prime Minister of India in the Oval Office. Trump was asked about the United States attorney that resigned after the DOJ was retaliating against her, who was asked to dismiss the case against Mayor Eric Adams as part of a quid pro quo deal that Donald Trump and the corrupt mayor of New York had. And Trump says he knows nothing about it. Play this clip.
If I could ask you about a development in your hometown today. The U.S. attorney has resigned over the DOJ's request to drop the case into Eric Adams. Did you personally request the Justice Department to drop that case?
No, I didn't. I know nothing about it. I did not.
But then moments later, Donald Trump says that to your other question, he says the U.S. attorney was actually fired. So first he says he knows nothing about it, but then he says that she was fired. Play the clip.
That war is a horrible war. It's a vicious, bloody war. We want to end it. To your other question, that U.S. attorney was actually fired. I don't know if he or she resigned, but that U.S. attorney was fired.
It should be noted that this was a Trump appointee. She was a MAGA Trumper working as a federal prosecutor in the SDNY when she was ordered by Trump's Department of Justice, in her view, to essentially commit a crime and to breach her ethical obligations by dismissing a meritorious case. Even she resigned, and then they tried to retaliate against her, so then she resigned. Her name is Danielle Sassoon, and you got to give her credit for showing courage and standing up there as well and not doing anything illegal, despite her being asked to apparently do so. So then a reporter asks Donald Trump, if you're going to be tough with India on trade, how are you going to beat China? And Trump's like, we're not going to beat anybody. Play the clip.
President, how are you going to fight China if you're going to be tough with India on trade? How are you going to beat China then?
We're in very good shape to beat anybody we want, but we're not looking to beat anybody. We're looking to do a really good job. We're We've done a fantastic job for the American people.
I want you to watch this where Trump berates the EU and in the same breath praises Russia. Unreal. Play this clip.
Today you spoke about hoping to have three-way talks with President Xi and President Putin. But what would you say to European leaders and other allies who may be concerned that you're apparently more keen to speak to America's adversaries than to its allies? Thank you.
Well, maybe I'll just go first on this one. We had some talks, and we told the European Union, we told the NATO people, largely they overlap, you have to pay more money because it's unfair what we're doing. We're doing a tremendous amount more. We're probably $200 billion more going into Ukraine, using for Ukraine to fight. And Europe has not really carried its weight in terms of the money. It's not equitable. And we want to see a counterbalance. We want to have them put up more money. They have to do that. At the same time, we had a very good conversation with President Putin yesterday, and we also had a very good conversation. I did in both cases with President Zelensky. And I think we're going to be able to do something. I think we're going to be able to make a deal. And I hope so, because it's a horrible war. It's a very terrible, bloody war with 1.5 million soldiers at least already dead on the battlefield, lying all over the fields like nobody's ever seen anything like it, certainly since the Second World War.
Donald Trump then continues to praise Vladimir Putin. Let's play it.
When you look at Ukraine and when you look at the mess that they're in, it's got to be ended and it's got to be stopped. Now, Russia's taken over a pretty big chunk of territory. And they also have said from day one, long before President Putin, they've said they cannot have Ukraine be in NATO. They said that very strongly. I actually think that that was the thing that caused the start of the war. And Biden said it, and Zelensky said it. And I think that was one of the reasons, one of the starts of the war. But from long before Putin, they said you cannot have Ukraine going in any way into NATO. And I start from that standpoint. I think everybody knew that. Now, if a better deal can be negotiated, if they're able to make a deal where they can do that, that's fine with me. I really don't care.
Donald Trump is asked what Russia should give up, and essentially he says absolutely nothing as he continues to glaze Vladimir Putin like the little puppet that he is. Play this clip.
To the Russia-Ukraine war, you've suggested several things that Ukraine should give up. The idea of NATO membership, territory that was seized back in 2014 by Russia. What should Russia give up?
Russia has gotten themselves into something that I think they wish they didn't. If I were president, it would not have happened. Absolutely would not have happened. And it didn't happen for 4 years. If you look at what has taken place under President Bush, they lost a lot. Under President Obama, they lost Crimea. Under Biden, it looks like they could lose the whole thing. Under Trump, they lost nothing. Ukraine lost nothing. They didn't give up anything. And you take a look at the other 3 presidents surrounding me, they gave up a lot. I think that when you look at Ukraine and when you look at the mess that they're in, it's got to be ended. And
Then Donald Trump talks about cutting all of the American military budget when he speaks with Xi Jinping and Putin. Like, what? Play the clip.
One of the first meetings I want to have is with President Xi of China, President Putin of Russia. And I want to say, let's cut our military budget in half. And we can do that. And I think we'll be able to do it.
Donald Trump then says that he doesn't want any American agencies to even study the impact of tariffs. He goes, there's nothing to study. They're just great. We're going to do them. Play the clip.
Reciprocal tariffs. Would you also direct agencies to study the impact they would have on prices in the U.S.?
No, there's nothing to study. There's nothing to study. It's going to go well. You know, the United States is going to become a very, very strong economically country. Yeah.
I should share this with you as well, that before that took place with Modi, Donald Trump had RFK Jr., who was just confirmed to be the head of Health and Human Services, despite being an anti-vaxxer and like rooting against people's health. But RFK says that this was God who sent Donald Trump to him. Play this clip.
For 20 years, I've gotten up every morning on my knees and prayed that God would put me in a position where I can end the childhood chronic disease epidemic in this country. On August 23rd of last year, God sent me President Trump, and he gave me he's now given me, he's kept every promise that he's made to me. He's kept his word in every account and gone way beyond it. I'm so grateful to you, Mr. President. A lot of people told me that I couldn't trust President Trump, that I better get it in writing. And we did a handshake, and everything that he told me he was going to do, he has done. And I'm so grateful to him. And I've told you before, I genuinely believe that you are a pivotal historical figure, that you are going to transform this country.
I mean, yeah, it's just absolutely nuts right there. Here, by the way, is Donald Trump in front of Modi announcing tariffs on India. Let's play the clip.
So we are being reciprocal with India. Whatever India charges, we charge them. So frankly, it no longer matters to us that much what they charge, because whatever they charge, I had discussions with India in the first term about the fact that their tariffs were very high, and I was unable to get a concession. So we're just going to do it the easy way, and we're just going to say whatever you charge, we charge. And I think that's fair for the people of the United States. And I think it's actually fair for India. Okay.
Are you willing to make any concessions, sir? Any concessions?
Before Trump and Prime Minister Modi met, you'll note that Modi met with the other president, perhaps the real president right now, Elon Musk. When you look at the photo, you'll have all of Modi's team, and then Elon Musk's team is just his children, because that's what Elon Musk does. He just brings around his children. And then you have some of the MAGA media there, because Trump's kicked out a lot of the other media, and he brings in these like shills, these like MAGA shills. And so here's someone asking Modi, how are you able to even be in Donald Trump's presence? He is so powerful. Play this clip.
I was curious, how much more confident are you with President Trump leading this country that there will be peace through strength and you will have a successful partnership with the United States versus with Biden's incompetence and weakness over the last 4 years?
That's your question, but I'll answer it. I agree with you. Gross incompetence.
So utterly pathetic there. By the way, I think even Steve Bannon right now is recognizing how devastating some of these MAGA policies are going to be for MAGA voters. Steve Bannon goes, a lot of MAGAs are on Medicaid. If you don't think so, you're dead wrong. You can't just take a meat axe to it. That's because in the budget by Republicans, they're going to give about $4.5 to $5 trillion to billionaires in the form of tax cuts, and they're basically going to gut Medicaid is in the budget. Go look at the budget for yourself. That's what's going on there. Oh, let me show you this one. Donald Trump saying that USAID rigged the 2020 election and in 2024. Here, play this clip.
President Trump, first of all, congratulations for the fantastic 24 days of your presidency. Historic and unprecedented decisions that you made, transformational reforms. I'm particularly impressed by the expose on USAID. And I would like you to share with us if you think USAID had a role in election interference in the US in 2020 and Indian elections in 2024.
So it could have had a role. There were a lot of bad things that happened in 2020. I think bad things happened in 2024, but it was too big to rig. We won by a tremendous margin. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions of votes. So it was too big to rig. But yeah, I think they probably tried. We're looking to go to a system now much different, where one-day voting, voter ID, and we have to do that. And paper ballots. We want paper ballots. And when they do that, we're going to clean it up very, very well. But
there you have it. Hit subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a good one.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.